Hey everyone, it's Mark C here for MunicipalMan, and I'm going a little off brand today. I don't usually talk about this type of thing, but I also believe that we should give credit where it's due, and I came across a really useful app recently that really saved me a lot of time and aggravation, and I think it might help you too if you are in my situation. And you probably are because that's why you came here. Anyway, the situation is this: you have an Android phone, like me, and you like it because you can put an SD card inside, and that allows you to control your device a little more, treat it like a computer, ramp up your memory if you want by just swapping it out or putting it in a new phone or something like that. Or, of course, you can take the SD card out, put it in an SD card reader, and move your files around, and that's all very nice. And I don't like using those kind of cloud ecosystems that, like Apple, because I find them so user-friendly, they're not user-friendly, and they end up causing me trouble in the end. The other issue is I'm constantly moving things to and fro. I take a lot of files off my computer, and I need to move it onto my phone, especially when I'm mixing a recording and I need to hear it in real time. I put it on my phone, I take it out in the real world, and that can be several times a day sometimes. So I want to make that portion of my workflow as seamless as possible. But we all know famously that if you take your Android phone and you just put a USB cord in there, it won't show up in your Finder if you have a Mac computer, and you just can't move files around that easily. You don't know why they did this. It's probably proprietary kind of competitive issues, but it makes the consumer's life a little bit of a drag. So that's my view. Anyway, in the past, I was using Android file transfer, and that worked. It allowed me to get the files back and forth, but you couldn't preview it. And anyway, I updated the computer recently, and it stopped working, and I couldn't figure out why. And I just thought, well, I'll look for something else. Anyway, that brought me to what we're talking about today, which is here, LocalSend. Yeah. Like I said, I like to give credit where it's due, and this is a good app. I've been using it for about a month. It's worked very seamlessly for me. It's given me no trouble, and I think it's very intuitive and well laid out and very useful. So this allows me to move files from my macOS computer onto my Android phone with no trouble whatsoever. That's perfect. Anyway, I'll walk you through it and show you a little bit about it. This only takes a minute because it's so simple. If I go here to send, you can see I've got 4 devices going. I've got my desktop iMac, I've got my MacBook, I've got my iPad here, and I've got my Android phone, and I can move files between them very easily. It's not only useful if you have an Android phone and that's your problem. If you have a situation where you have several computers around the house, as long as the devices are connected to the network, each one acts as a server point and you can move things around. So let's see how it works. I'm going to take this photo here of a cocktail that I took off my phone, just a random shot. I'm going to drag and drop it. I can browse for it if I like, but here it is, and now I'm just going to choose where to send it, and I'll send it to my Android phone. Oh, there we go. And it asks me to accept it, so I hit accept, and there it is. And now it's in my downloads folder. I can save it anywhere on my phone, including my SD card if I want. And I can do the same thing, and the same thing for the iPad. But you'll notice with the iPad, I don't need to accept it. I think because it's an Apple computer, maybe I have it set up that way. I didn't check it. That's probably the case. And I can do the same thing with my MacBook. Okay, and now it's saved on the device, and I can move it around. And if I've got a batch of files, whatever they may be, I'm just going to do that there. It will store them all together. I can edit this if I want to change the assortment. But I can do the same thing again. I'm just going to move those to my MacBook, and you can see it moves them as a batch. And that's pretty much it. There's really not much more to it. There is this feature of quick save, which you can set. for your favorites, which will allow you to bypass the accept feature, and you can just turn it on for all files if you like. So you can add different devices to your favorites folder, and it will give them some special treatment. This next feature is one that I really like. It's a real time saver. You're going to watch me move a large selection of video clips and photos that I took at the Toronto International Film Festival the other night. Went to a red carpet event. It was all very swank. Anyway, I want to move them all en masse in one blast. And if I use the share feature on my phone, LocalSend comes up as an option and allows me to just select the ones I want and move them off. And I'm sure you can see the benefits of that. You can make space on your phone or back things up really easily without having to use a connection. All you need is another device nearby. So that's pretty cool. Besides sending files and folders, you can even just use it as a network messaging system. So we can send text from one side to the other, which is nice. Hello world. We hit confirm. And who are we going to send that to? The MacBook. There we go. And then we get the message here on the MacBook. It seems the goal here is to create a little network sharing system. If you're in a small office environment, or you've just got a few computers, or you got a computer on the other side of the house, and you just want to send them a message. And that can work quite well. Another thing you can do is cut and paste links, I guess, or any text or something like that. So anything on your clipboard, you hit paste, and it will allow you to do that. So that's pretty handy. I think those are some pretty thoughtful additions to the whole premise. Okay, beyond that, there are a few settings here that you can use to customize it. I think the graphical interface of this app is also pretty nice and well thought out, but you can customize it a bit if you like. And here you can set the quick save features. You can require a PIN, which is probably a good idea if you're in a public area on a public network, and you can change the save to folder. Now you can customize the name of your device. It gives you one when you start up the app, but then you can change it to whatever you want. And here is some information about the makers of LocalSend. Like I said, I don't know these people. I'm not shilling for them. They haven't sponsored this. They're not paying me. I'm just giving you a recommendation. I think it worked pretty well for me. So if you think that kudos are in order and it's worth a few bucks, I do recommend that you donate to them, which I did, because I think it's money well spent. Anything that is this well laid out and solves a problem for you and saves you some time and some aggravation in your workflow, it's always worth a few bucks for me. And as we all know, there are a million apps out there that make lots of claims. Some of them are good, some of them are not. Some of them are free, and some of them ask you to pay. But if they're just asking you for a donation and it works well, I think it's a good thing to do. Hell, I ask for donations, so who am I to be a hypocrite? Anyway, that's my short and sweet message for today. I want to thank you for joining. You know, I'm coming up to 2,000 subscribers, and I'd love to hit that number. So if you could do me the favor and subscribe down below and hit the notifications bell. I'm taking the channel in a new direction. I'm going to be talking more about recording and producing music and putting it up online and publishing it, because I'm going through that whole process myself, and I'm going to share the process with you. And if you think that's going to be interesting to you, then please join the channel. As you know, in the past, I've done a lot of Beat Buddy materials. If anything new comes up in that regard, I'm going to be producing some Beat Buddy videos as well. So please join the channel and join the community. Comment if you have any questions. I try to get back to everybody as quickly as I possibly can. Thanks again for joining. We'll see you all next time. Take care.